Hey everyone. Hope you guys don't all get sick of me here. Trying to walk you through what I go through, what I do when I do these privately with people. So, you guys are getting a real good dose of Sybil and some of the ways and the messages that come through to me. And so, this is to come to say that I had a dream that I see as being a place beyond the astral realm. Um, and I really kind of second guessed myself, not second guessed myself, what do you call, um, hesitated on bringing forward this experience because I haven't really quite known how to describe it, right? So, the reason that it's been difficult to describe is because it took place almost in like a surgical type of manner. Okay. But nothing gross. I mean, well, to me, it wasn't gross. But just to say that if anyone gets a little squeamish or whatever, you might get squeamish. I hope it's not something that comes through that makes you squeamish. But we're talking about our internal organs, okay? Things that connect and are connected to the root chakra and the heart chakra. Okay, so I'll try to keep this as lovely as I can because it really was a beautiful experience. So I'm going to try to bring that beauty through without like making it a squeamish thing. But I will also timestamp the end of it. So if you want to kind of skip past this, you can do that by clicking to the next chapter below this. Um, so I'll go ahead and get into that now. um, so this came last night. I have found for the last few nights that I've been getting up in the middle of the night and sitting alone for a couple of hours, and then I'll become like kind of like my eyelids will get heavy and I'll say, okay, no, it's time to sleep, right? So last night was one of those nights that I did that. It was about 3:30 in the morning when I laid back down for a little while, I think. I can't really, my sense of time might be a little bit off because when I laid back down, I went into um a very, very deep sleep. And this was after having called in my archangels and guides and ascended beings. The Aziz. And I was taken and placed under this really, really deep sleep. Like it was deep. And typically in the astral realms, for me, they're like all these spheres that I can look into, and it's like seeing things happening live, right? Or, and I'm able to choose like which one of these places I can go to or see or experience or witness. But in this deep sleep, there was none of that. It was all black as black can get. I mean, there was nothing but black. It was deep black. It was like being in an obsidian sphere inside this black, like so deep. Um, and that first breath that kind of it's like something like a breath escaped me, right? Like it really came in and then was drawn out. So it was like a really deep inhale, exhale moment where I realized I was suspended in this blackness, right? This darkness. I mean, just completely dark everywhere. And I realized that there was no fear, that I felt no worry. I felt no fear, no anxiety, no uh, feeling of being lost. There was no, you would almost imagine that you wake up in that moment and feel the sense of where am I? Oh my God, what is that? There was none of that. I was at complete peace, um, stillness, silence. Um, and I was whole, and I want to say like completely naked, like you would if you were going into surgery, but there was no feeling of vulnerability. There was no sense of, yeah, I guess that would be shame, right? There was no sense of um concern, or it was just, and everything that I did feel was deep. It was a deep sense of knowing, of okay, this is okay. This is like well-being, right? Secure, safe, comforted, clear. It was like I knew I was in this space, and I knew I was whole, and I knew everything was good, or and it wasn't even like, oh, this is all good, because there was no bad, right? There was no thought. It was everything just is, and I was suspended in this place. And I noticed like my sternum area, right? Like from the heart chakra to the root, it had this soft orange glow to it. It like orange and gold, and it was glowing, and it was softly glowing. It was gentle. It was easy. It was non evasive, right? There was no sense of insecurity. It was natural. It was beautiful. And I laid my head back kind of, and there was this white light. Even before I noticed myself glowing, there was this white light, bright, bright white light. And that's what I feel like sparked the glow, right? But the bright white light, it kind of came down. I remember when I saw it, it was almost like the human imagination comes in, and it's like almost imagining these soft white feathers of an angel's wing, but they were just light. It was just white light, right? And that's when I had noticed the glow. And then I kind of relaxed and laid back. And the next thing that I felt was there were three types of, I don't want to say objects because they weren't objects. If you could imagine, right, that this is all energetic. And so the symbolism, the colors, the shapes, the feelings, it all comes into it, right? And so it was as if there was it's like that tube of light, okay? Like this tube of light that just runs through the center of you, head to toe, right? And into the earth and into the heavens. But it was mainly what I was seeing and feeling was just head to toe, right? And this tube of light, through this tube of light, there was this flushing feeling, right? It was something, it's like as if something was flushed out of me through my root. Okay. And there were three things that flushed out of me. And one was in the shape of a heart. Okay. Kind of like the citrine and the healing, the healer's gold there that you see in the video. It was shaped in a heart shape, but it was fleshy and it was red, right? And so this tells me this is the heart chakra. This is the lung area, that fleshy part, right? And possibly even the heart itself, right? That fleshy part of us that is there at the heart chakra. And the red being the connection to the root chakra. Okay, comes out smooth. It's like, oh my God. If you, I don't know if you could imagine like slurping jello through a straw, like just so, in a glass straw at that, right? Like just so that I don't know. I know it sounds funny, but it kind of left a little bit of it felt good. It, like I could almost giggle, right? So imagine that. The second thing came out the same way, right? It felt the same way, like it's just rushed, like slipped, was flushed right through this tube, right out and through the root. And it was more of a, if you could imagine, I've been trying to think of something that this would resemble, but it was kind of fleshy, but kind of fatty, almost like I don't know. I don't know what you would compare it to. Um, like a jello-y type thing, but it wasn't smooth. It almost looked fatty, like but it was formed like um trying to imagine like a silicone, right? That's all misshapen. And it was like this orangish, like burnt orangish, goldish, not goldish, like there was a burnt orange, like that where the red and the orange meet, and it faded into a peachy tone, and then a little like a golden tone, right? Like these tones were in it, but it was almost like um I know they've made a toy out of this stuff. They've had to have, but anyway, and that, right? So I just imagine it as like that fatty, tissuey type mass or something, that would be like your sacral chakra, your lower intestines. Actually, that's that meridian up here. Um, that type of area. And the third thing is what was odd and caught my attention when I had kind of looked and viewed these things was it was in the shape of a barrel, right? Like if you imagine like a 50 or 100-gallon bar barrel, right? And around the rim at the top and the bottom, it was like ribbed out, but it was all sealed. Like there was no seam where anything, it was like all one piece. Now, between the top and bottom rib was a center rib, and in between those were another rib, right? So it was a large gallon like container, and it was green. It was just this pretty green, right? And it wasn't until I was talking to Peter, because when I was looking at it, when I first looked at all of these, it was like, is that the toxins coming out of me? Like, is that toxic? Like, what should I be grateful? Like, what, and but they never allowed the angels, the energy, like no fear was allowed. So it was like pushed back, right? It was like they were wanting me to see this in wholeness. And it wasn't until I was speaking to Peter and he looked at me and he said, he said, green is the color of life. And look at the green on the hummingbird, right? It was brilliant like that. And it hit me. And I'm like, oh my God, you're right. You're right. It is a container that has been filled and infused and sealed in life and wholeness. And I kid you not, yesterday, last night, um, I sent, um, how did I do it? Or no, um, Iris had sent me a text message, right? Of some cards she had pulled. And it was before I even did this video. It was 4:20 in the afternoon. And in that was the scarab beetle. So when the scarab beetle came out in today's video, I was just like, of course, why not? You know, like, yeah, I hear you. I do. And I know that a lot of this may sound crazy, right, to some, and some may have the difficult time wrapping their head around some things. And last night, when I did the first video, I saw this child. He came in from my bookshelf, from my window, and hovered across over my candle, very curious, eyebrows furrowed, like, what is this? What is going on? But he settled there and he listened. And why would I walk you through all of these things, right? Because this is how spirit works with me. And there are times in my life where I have worked with these energies and I have seen miracles take place. And there are three that I could just go through boom, boom, boom from the point of being diagnosed with cervical cancer by three different doctors who knew nothing of one another, never having received cancer treatment in my life, to them recommending that I consider my options when I was pregnant with my son, to the fact that he's 33 years old now, to sitting in front of a surgeon and a radiologist and an anesthesiologist that tell me I am never going to walk. And if I, and even if I did, I wouldn't go any further than a wheelchair. Nine years ago, 8 years ago, 8.5. So there's not really anyone or anything that can tell me what is and is not possible. It's laughable to think that anyone would be able to convince me otherwise, because that's just three quick, easy examples. There are so many more. And I'm not really asking anyone to believe me. I never have, never will. And this is the first I have ever really shared these practices and my thoughts and my knowings on these things with anyone in this form. And it's because most will try to convince you to come down out of the clouds back into reality, their reality, wrapped in false beliefs, illusions. And that is a place that in these times I do not dwell, because I know there is power in knowing, and that in these times when we call on miracles, it is because it is things that go beyond what the human imagination and mind can comprehend. It's supernatural. It's magic. The natural state of the soul. Everything manifests now. Everything. There's nothing supernatural about it. To the angels, to the Azez, to our ascended masters and source. We live now. And some people may say, well, don't you think that there's a what if? Not in my mind and not in my heart. And the way that I feel is that if I have to be the one to stand in that faith and to declare it, then I will. I do. I am. Because that's part of it. That's something that even Peter could share. his own experience. And then the angels come in. The angels come in. They camp round about. They hold the light over this space, over our hearts, our lives, our homes, our families, our pets, our properties, our transportation, and our finances, all in wholeness. And they say, now, what evidence? What evidence do you seek? And that little human goes, but I thought we weren't supposed to seek evidence. Oh, dear ones, it is in your seeking you shall find. And that is the most beautiful sight. So keep doing what you're doing, knowing that this time you are seeing your light. Your light in wholeness, in oneness. And we are not alone. So I see beautiful things. Doesn't mean that it always feels good. Doesn't always look good. Doesn't feel pretty or sound pretty. But that's the release. The tears, the frustrations, the anxiety, the worry, the doubt, the stress, the having had to carry it for so long. The imperfection, the unworthiness, the lost, that which feels no purpose. It's the release. It comes out in different ways, all of them perfect. Without judgment. It is that moment, that first contraction that makes you want to scream, and some of us do. So know that in every moment, you are pure, you are whole, you are worthy, you are complete, and you are free. I know this all sounds a little nuts, but I had to do it. I had to post it. There comes a time when we have to say things that, go beyond what some may expect or perceive. May we all hold this vision within us as we go forward, knowing that every sight, every sound, every smell, every thought, every whisper, every step, every breath is a sign and a symbol I love you guys. And I know you'll probably get a little sick of me. And some of Sybil's wild imaginations. But to me, these things are real. They're true. And I knew this morning I thought it would come out, but it didn't. It came out now. But I knew the whale song would come out. And give me a second. Okay. So the whale spirit, I had to find the book. I'm sorry. At the bottom of the deck, we have the chameleon spirit. Okay. This is number 14. The oracle message is chameleon spirit shares her gift with you today to prepare you for changes that will greatly benefit you. Outer conditions are changing, and you are required to come into harmony with them so you can co-create your greatest dream. Feeling sensitive? Good, because that will come in handy, enabling you to determine how best to adapt to your environment and the people in it, while at the same time maintaining your integrity and inner equilibrium. Even if you feel like you're in uncharted territory, chameleon spirit has complete faith in your ability to fit in and learn the lay of the land, adapting as necessary. This is a fortunate time to act as if and do as others do until the new ways feel familiar and completely natural. Life is offering you a great lesson now. Adapting is not about losing yourself. It is about learning how to dance with others. Being sensitive and having empathy from others can become a heavy burden if you don't practice self-care. Could it be you are feeling stressed because you've tuned in to challenging emotions that are not even yours? Chameleon spirit does not want you to adapt to these conditions by withdrawing or distracting yourself, hoping the feelings will just go away, or attempting to rescue another who may be having a pity party. You can be swallowed up trying to manage it all. It is time to figure out where you end and the rest of the world begins. Not all conditions are yours to match. You need to distinguish your own color from the rest of the world right now. Take time out to soothe your sensitive soul. Choose some activities that will restore your sense of being grounded, and avoid people who revel in drama. Take a break from social media too. Self-care and a time out is the answer to this temporary dilemma. Uncharted territory. It's always uncharted territory for me. We are all so unique. Take time to rest. Remember the last video also. It is time to heal, to recover, to soothe, to drop into that space. And I'm sorry, this wasn't the whale. I made a mistake. So electric eel spirit, bring your ideas to life. We are bringing, oh, it was the whale spirit. Oh my God, it was both of them. Okay, so we'll put this up here too. But the electric eel spirit, bring your ideas to life. Okay, I'm not going to read that one, but I am going to read the whale spirit. Trust the great mystery, number 65. Okay. Sorry about that. Try to get through these best I can. I have to follow spirit's guidance. I mean, if I were dealing with one of you privately, you'd be the only one hearing this, but you would be hearing it. It's just what I do. And a lot of this is declaration. A lot of this is affirmation. A lot of this is confirmation and activation. And I'm saying this to remind us that as the human, we do not always see everything at once, right? And so we're being told we don't have to be, we don't have to see or know everything all at once, right? Because a healing is something that unfolds. We ask for grace, and so it unfolds within us. It opens up, it blooms within us, one petal, one bud at a time. Okay? So make sure you give yourselves patience, ease, grace. A lot of times, think on those things that make you smile, right? Try to bring in that sense of joy. All right? It's always a great medicine. Whale spirit, trust the great mystery. Whale spirit is an ancient creature who was here at the beginning of time and who has seen everything, felt everything, and heard everything that has ever transpired on this planet. In the hidden realms where all things must gather first before manifesting into form, whale spirit is the keeper, singing the soul of the whole world from the deepest waters of the coldest seas. When whale spirit appears, it is a reminder that there is a great mystery that you must accept without intellectually trying to understand it. Some things cannot be known by the mind, only experienced through the heart, through intuition, and through the peripheral senses that part the invisible veils separating the visible world from the great manifesting consciousness in the hidden realms. Now is the time for you to immerse yourself in the great mystery of spirit and to trust that within the invisible, what you cannot see now are the seeds of your intentions being tended to by angels. Certainty is not offered to you right now. You are being asked to trust the process of co-creation. Whale spirit reminds you that your primary reality is not that of the material world, but that of the realm of spirit, from which the essence of your dreams and desires take shape before arriving as a specific form. You must trust absolutely that what will come will be for the highest good. Stay in your present moment awareness and allow the hidden realms to hold your intention safely until it is time for them to manifest in the realm of form. Let go, for you will not be left behind. Some things take longer than others to arrive. Thank you, angels and spirit guides, because that truly is the depth. That is that deep, dark, black obsidian space. Where the seeds were shown to me. Those are the seeds we have planted, the intention, the declarations. They're there. We drew down the light. We opened our heart. We planted the seed. It is there. Hold that space in knowing. Hold it in knowing. Give yourself grace in times of doubt or worry or fear. Allow the angels to do their job, right? To be okay in the meantime, the in-between time. I love you guys. It's a good time for a time of silence. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Hopefully, if you have any questions, anything like that, bring them with you. Any experiences that you're going through, like I said, it's not always pretty. A lot of times it is. But this is part of bringing those intentions into form, right? Because the intentions are the releases, right? The drawing down of the light, the understanding, the clarity, the truth, speaking on these things, allowing them to have their expression, right? We've only we've only touched the tip of it, right? We've only touched the tip of it. We've only just begun. Okay. So bringing conscious awareness into the times that we gather, into these meetings, these groups, these videos, to say this is the seed that is being held in that womb of creation, right? And now it is to be consciously aware of bringing life to those. What do we do with our seeds, right? We water them, we nurture them, we give them light, we give them air, right? We protect them from the cold, we prop them up when, they start to sprout and can't stand on their own. We do what we need to do, right? That is the action, the thought, the words, the feelings, the releases, okay? It's all earth, water, air, and fire. And it is our desire, our passion to see these things come to fruition and to act on them when called to be called to act, right? To speak on them when called to speak. And so we will continue to bring this into our conscious awareness over some time. And the sacred space, from what I am getting with spirit, is I know we're going to go well on through November. Haven't really, I know it's going to be a few weeks, 3 weeks, something like that, maybe even longer. I haven't really tapped into those energies yet. But it will be an altar in my space, in my home, for some time, because I know that in seeking evidence, Peter can attest to, it takes time, right? Um, there's a lot of things that, even with him, there were, I don't know, I think he visited every doctor on earth by the time he got a clean bill of health, right? So that took a few months for him, right? So we will continue to hold this space in light and love and knowing, and continue to participate in it and bring it to our conscious awareness, because these healings, um, each one unfolds and reveals itself in form, in its own unique way and divine time. So I love you. I'm really going to let you guys go now. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.